Our first day on Lake Ullswater was a little bit crazy. But today is very different. In this video, we have a lovely, sunny, pleasant sail, sailing with loads of other boats on the lake, and stopping for a very pleasant lunch. We then head back to Glenridding amongst perfect company, reaching on a nice breeze. We see a very different Ullswater today, allowing us the time to take in all the sights and meet all the other people on the lake as we meander up and back down to our home at Glenridding. I hope you enjoy.
Good morning. It's about, can't remember what time it is. It must be about 8 o'clock now. Let's have a look. 8 o'clock, yeah. Oh, it's about 9 o'clock. I've been faffing around. I got up about 7:30, watched some YouTube videos because it was so cold. But as the sun came up from behind the big mountain or the big hill round there, it's definitely warming up now, which is nice. There was a bit of wind this morning. It was forecast not very much, but there's enough to sail. It's looking beautiful, isn't it? It's going to be a lot easier to launch and get going today than it was yesterday. Now, I've got to get home. So there's a lot going on at home and a lot going on with work, unfortunately. So we're going to get a good sort of morning sail done. I think we'll get a good 3 or 4 hours sailing. We're going to haul out. And I'm going to aim to get back home sort of for tea time today. So without any further ado, I think the other thing is because the conditions are so light today, I've got a few little surprises to show you as well. So let's get on. Let's get the boat in the water and I'll see you out there. Van is away, but the trailer's still there. But actually the guys have come and they're launching everyone, which is great. So it means I don't have to worry about putting the trailer somewhere and whatnot. I guess I paid for it as part of the whole thing. So yeah, cool. They've just launched a Bay Raider out there that we were actually parked next to on the first night. So I think he's coming around here and we're next. There he goes. It was so quick, I barely had time to record him. So it's nowhere near as bad as it was yesterday, so we're going to get the engine in, we're going to get going. Here we go. It's a much nicer day today. We're going to enjoy today, I think. Right, I think we've got enough sea room. Let's get the sails out and let's get sailing. So we've got a little bit of beating to do this morning. But as you can see, there's quite a nice little breeze. We've got all 3 sails flying. We need to just do our first little tack. So we're running out of room. Oh, that's why we're not. I wonder why we're not going all over the place. I haven't got the blooming centreboard down. Better get that down quick. That's it. Whoop. So it's not that much wind, but again, it's gusting a little bit. So I'm going to have to release the mizzen, I think, to get a good run. And then we'll be on our way.
The direction and lack of wind makes it quite difficult to get out the bay. But once we tack, we start to make some progress.
Let's go for it because we're running out of room. Yeah, we got a little bit close there. But not to worry, we're okay. Right, let's go for it because we're running out of room.
And with the first tack now behind us, we make our way up the lake. This is going to be a lovely sail.
So I think we've got ourselves into a little bit of a shadow here, but we are moving. Just. There's the sailing club over there. We actually merrily sailed over here. There was a nice little breeze for a minute. There's the Bay Raider. That's just the Bay. I think it's called a Bay Raider 20. It's the open boat, and they sail like witches. And I was chatting to a guy a minute ago. He seemed quite a quiet guy. I didn't want to pry or ask if I could have a look, but he came and he's readying his Hawk 20 cabin for a sail today. They're the two boats. Well, not the open boat, but I'd love the Bay Raider Expedition or the Hawk 20 cabin. They're my dream boats, you know, they're my dream boats, you know. We've pointed high enough here to get around the island. I thought we'd have to tack and go through the left channel there, but we're now probably clear. We're definitely going to have enough room. And it's not a race, because a lugger versus a Bay Raider is never going to be a race. But it's nice to see. I just like pitting my skills up against other people. You never know. You might be, it's nice to do. I don't know. It's the sportsman in me, isn't it? I guess. But it is nice to sort of see. It's like a measure of how good you are, really. That's why I sort of do it, and it makes it interesting. So let's see if we can catch them up. We didn't make it. So we've just had to. No, it was too risky. We should have just kept that tack going a little bit longer.
We just didn't have the wind to get round the small island at the south of the lake. However, a small gust allows us to scoot round the other side instead. But despite being a much calmer day, the lake still has some tricks up her sleeve.
See, as the wind backs and veers so much, it's so difficult to control. It's just hard to not get in irons when the wind backs. Here it seems to be able to back and veer easily 90 degrees, and suddenly you're caught in irons with the mizzen. So I think we're going to do a tack and get rid of the mizzen.
The wind picks up.
We're going merrily along now, 4 miles an hour. Can't argue with that. Lovely, pleasant sail.
The sun comes out.
Yeah, just here, look. This little section. So I'm going to get out of here while I'm carrying some speed.
And we're sailing.
There we go. Racing. I'm not doing it to race, but I think I need to do a quick tack even with the mizzen release, just because we need to just look sharp today. Otherwise we might get caught out too easily. What's nice about today is we're beating out and reaching back. Yesterday, I'm not quite sure what we were doing and when, to be frank. We were kind of beating at one stage, and then we were reaching, and then we kind of, on the way back, we were reaching and then beating. It was very odd, the conditions yesterday, and very strong. Today I think we're going to have a much more simple sail, which would be lovely. So they're just coming back down the lake actually now, so they're obviously sailing like locally, as I say. So I didn't want to heave to here. You can see, I think like, the sails are just bigger, aren't they? But the mizzen looks smaller, although in comparison to the sails it's smaller. But that big mainsail, yeah, look at that, with the boom as well. Nice boat, really nice boat. Just hove to. We've got a good room here. Oh. We're going to get the boom on.
I decide to fit the mainsail boom. Hopefully this will help us point better. The boom only takes a few minutes to set up in this calm weather.
Going to leave the sail quite baggy because, you know, and I'm going to get rid of the mizzen because that way we can do a lot of, I like to feather, so we're going to get rid of the mizzen, be underway. Right, we better go, there's a big rock in front of us. Not one single wave off that boat. It's full of old people, and when the kids are on these steamer, paddle steamers, and you wave, they all wave back, or they're all waving furiously. But the adults seem to have grown out of it. Here's the Hawk. I can't believe how quickly that boat has caught us up. And I've been secretly, you know, trying my best. I mean, I know we hove to for a bit, but that Hawk is quick. It's pointing higher than us and going faster. Look at that.
We set off up the lake. The boom is giving us a much better angle now. And with that Hawk 20 yapping at our heels, we're interested to see if we can fend her off. But more importantly, we gently fall into the rhythm of the sail and fall into the moment that only sailing can give you. Human, boat, weather and water, all working in perfect harmony. All good friends today.
It's a glorious day. It's a glorious sail, this. There we go, we've made, if anything, we've made ground up on these two. Tell you what, with this boom, we are pointing as well as these other two boats. In fact, if you look, we're actually following that one and pointing a tickle higher. Maybe he's not trying to do that, but here's the Bay Raider. I've been like really proper sort of sailing, like really tweaking all the sails and trying to see if we can keep ahead of them. Bit of a breeze coming in now, so this will be good. had to tack a bit earlier than I wanted to, and look, those guys, oh, they're not happy. So we're gonna have to do that and tack just to get out of the way of that island. I think we can have a go. No, we're gonna cut it too fine otherwise. So yeah, we need to do exactly what this boat's done. But as you can see, we've got a really good angle down there now. We've got a really good angle now. There's the hawk, not too far ahead of us. There's the Bay Raider right in the distance there. They're like a tack behind us though. And there's a canoe. So there is Silver Bay, which I think is about a mile, or we've done a mile maybe, or 2 miles from Glenridding, and I'm having too much fun. I'm having too much fun sailing, so I'm not going to stop. We're just going to crack on. There's the other two. You know, I'm pleased with Lulu. She's not the fastest boat in the world, is she? That's full stop. And neither was the Mirror. You know, I used to get frustrated, you know, in the Mirror when there used to be other smaller, you know, dinghies, you know, being much faster than her. But it is what it is, isn't it? The boom has helped us point. We're pointing almost as well as that hawk. I'd say not quite. And the Bay Raider, I don't know, but it's close. We might be pointing the same angle, but we are slower. But at the moment, we're catching them up. Look. So we've kind of reached this kind of first dogleg midsection now. So the wind is sort of not quite on our bow, and we can point a bit higher, and we've been sustaining 5 miles an hour for a few minutes now. Definitely a bit more breezy here. And then, woo! The Bay Raider just heeled over quite a bit then. But they're up a bit ahead of us. Not too shabby though, is it really? I've had to uncleat my mainsail because it was all right cleating it there, but here, maybe not. Right, let's see how far we can go. I figure we'll stop for lunch, and reaching back shouldn't be too much of a problem. We'll probably even run back. But yeah, I don't want this sail to end, really. Yesterday, you know what? I enjoyed it. If the 2 days were the other way round, I had this sail, then the rough sail, I'd probably have enjoyed the rough sail a bit more. But I was rusty, a little bit rusty, and my sailing spider senses weren't quite working like they should. So everything was a bit scarier than it should be. So if the days were swapped, I think it would have been better, but you know, it doesn't matter. I think this way round, you enjoy this kind of sail a hell of a lot more. The missing out. I think the wind's dying a little bit. We're getting the odd pleasant gust, but I figured we needed the extra sail area just to give us a boost. I realise I'm talking about racing these Bay Raiders, or well, keeping up with the Bay Raider, but she's flying all her sails. We weren't flying all of ours, so we won't be able to point quite as well. But there's like a weird drift, actually. It's weird. Normally you track to leeward. The boat would slip to leeward, but here we seem to be tracking to windward. It's really weird. Unless that's the way there's like a slight current here. I'll have to talk to them about that when I get back. I think that's definitely given us half a knot. General speed though, having the mizzen back out. The wind has just backed. Look. Oh, it's now gone. Oh, and we've lost. There you go. There you go. Look. It's now on our back slightly. And on our beam, our port beam. It was coming onto our port quarter. Most of the, that was the direction of the wind. So I don't know how long this will last. I'm just waiting for this boom to swing back over any minute now. If you remember yesterday's video, we had some real moments about here. Big boat coming, very close to us. Although they've just bared off a little now, which is nice. They're not moving quick, are they? But neither are we at the moment. The hawk is over there. He's kind of stopped. So, yeah. I'm kind of looking for a spot to stop. Ooh, we've had a little gust here. There's a blue note. I've never seen a boat like that before. It's a nice cabin. Quite like that boat. It's nice. I don't know what that is. Whoop.
The harmony ends with a sudden backing of the wind.
Good grief. Unbelievable. We're literally on the same tack. The same bearing now. But all the sails are on the other side. What I was going to do was kind of head to the west shore where it's going to be a little bit more, well, I was going to say a bit more, sorry, I'm just watching this boom, but I was going to say a little bit more sheltered. No, we're backed again. I may even put the motor in now because it's lunchtime and we probably need to think about stopping and turning round. So I'm trying to find a little beach. I think I might drop the motor and have a little look along that other shore. Right, we're going to try and see if we can anchor here, but I'm being super careful because obviously there's actually a bit of a swell just occurred here. We've got a bit of wind as well just suddenly come through. And I don't want to hit the engine, either. I'm trying to sort of, beginning to wonder if the other side is better, is more sheltered. Because look at the waves crashing here. Yeah, I think we'll try the other side and see if it's, it just feels a bit not sheltered here at all. Yeah, I'm going to go over there. There's a tiny little bay over the way, so I'm going to maybe head for that and see if it's a bit better. Ooh, Enterprise. Nice boat that, I like that. Oh, that's an ETAP 23. They're supposed to have a good reputation for a trailer sailor. And they're supposed to have a good reputation for sailing boats. Yeah, nice little boat that, I like that.
We motor over to the east shoreline and try and find a spot for lunch. The water here is very deep until you get very close to shore, exactly like Bala. So, I'm unsure if the anchor will reach the bottom.
Whew. So we've anchored and I dropped the hook and it just dangled and we kind of drifted into this lee shore, but fortunately we actually got it perfect, more luck than judgment. But the shoreline here gets so deep so quickly, much like Bala, that you don't have much leeway with your anchor. You either need like 70 meters or nothing. Here is what's called a bungee anchor, and I was hoping to show you this today, but I think because it's so steep here and it drops off, I'm not going to be able to do it for you. It's such a shame. So I'm gonna save this for next week when we're at Bala, where we know where we are, where we know what we're doing. I know exactly where I can also test this as well, at Pirates Cove, where there's a lot more shallow water there. I'm not happy with this being a lee shore. When the wind kicks up, it's not a ideal shoreline to test this, to be honest with you. We could get ourselves trapped here. So I'm not going to touch that anchor either. It's holding well. Let's not force the issue here. So I've got this bungee anchor, but I will show that to you next week. Same as yesterday. Slight variation on it. No ducks to share our lunch with today, unfortunately. I literally thought it would be so lovely to go back up there, moor up on that same mooring and see if our little friend came and saw us. But we're not going to get all the way up the lake. So here we go. This is lunch again. So I'm going to eat this, and then I think then we'll head back. And if we can sail back, it might just be a wonderful reach, possibly a run. We'll wait and see. I do like a good run, but not like we did yesterday. Gosh, that was horrendous. With the boom though, we can tie that off, so we've got a retainer so we don't Chinese jibe. Looks like a Beneteau 323. Definitely a Beneteau. That was the boat, I'm pretty sure, that we motored down with last night. And they just did a tack right there, right inshore there. I think that's what puts me off big yachts is, you run aground, you're screwed. Anything goes wrong and you're kind of screwed, With a dinghy or smaller boat, things are a lot less sort of dangerous when they go wrong. It would be, however, amazing to have like a cabin and like 2 bedrooms and stuff like that. Oh, and in fact, look, they were really going for it then, and then all the sails just flapped and she stopped. It was heeling over, and she just came to a stop. So even these big boats succumb to the backing and veering wind here. That's our Bay Raider friends. I think I can see 2 people on board. Hard to tell. But look, we've got some dinghies. Ooh, that one was nearly toppling over. Yeah, loads of dinghies coming. So I think we need to get going. I didn't check the time. It's 12:30. So I think it'd be nice. Let's sail back, haul out, and I think it'll be a good day sailing. I've got I put my wind cheater waterproof on because it's cold. I've been sat here in the sun now. It's quite pleasant, but when the wind kicks up and you're not in the sun, it's actually quite chilly. It's single-digit numbers, and that's proving to be quite chilly for here. So we'll go and get some sea room. We'll get the sails up, and we'll get sailing. Wow, we're up to 5.5 miles an hour already. Woo. Good grief.
We start off with a brisk reach. For a moment, I think we're the fastest boat on the lake.
This boat struggles to beat, or some say anyway. But what she's good at is reaching, especially broad reaching. Woo! Where did those waves come from? Oh, there's a big boat over there. So already we're holding our own with these two. Just in these changeable winds, we just want to be careful, even broad reaching. That boom could swing over any time, so just want to be a little bit careful of that. Just like that, the wind's gone. And here it comes again though. Yeah, here it comes again. Just always want to watch this boom. There it is. And keep that wind on our beam as much as possible. To be honest with you, everyone else is on port tack or starboard tack, should I say, apart from us, who are on completely the opposite tack. That is really weird.
The wind is starting to die now, with only the odd gust passing through.
Look at this.
But it seems Lake Ullswater still have a few tricks she wants to play on us.
Good grief. Ah. Oh, the sun's gone in and we've just got a pleasant little gust there. That little motorboat was catching us and then it wasn't. That was very nice. Just going to try and tuck in as much as we can, so we'll be across the wind as much as we can. But there's Glenridding Sailing Centre showing now. Sailing is so much more fun if you can do 4 to 5 miles an hour or knots. And the lighter airs you can do that in, the more fun I think it is. Sometimes life can be quite sedate in the lugger. Now look, don't get me wrong, there's benefits to that. She's safe, she's secure, you learn a lot from this boat too, but I don't understand why it is those other boats just go quicker. Maybe they're just more modern. We're going along at 3.2. That's pretty decent. You do make progress. So I think we'll jibe. We'll try and get a decent angle. We'll probably have to come in front of the island, jibe again, and end up somewhere in the bay. We'll have to then drop the sails, get the motor on, etc. and we'll haul out. But it has been a pleasant sail this so far. Just got a little bit boring towards the end.
With time still on our hands, we continue on under sail. But the wind is dying now, marking the end of a great day's sail.
All the swans over there, look. There's about 18 of them. It's obviously the same 18 that were down the bottom of the lake that we saw yesterday. They are such a beautiful bird. Such a beautiful bird. So we've come all the way in now, and we need to really jibe, but we've lost the wind actually. But we'll jibe anyway. There we go. With what speed that we've got. We'll wait for some wind. We have got a little bit of wind because, there we go. Not enough to move the jib around yet though. You find yourself praying. Just one more gust. One more gust. One more gust.
Our prayers are answered as one last little gust sends us on our way home. What a great day this has been.
And this is where our trip ends, I'm afraid. So thank you for coming with me. I mean, God, two lovely sailing days. One was like hair on fire. The other one has been almost the opposite, really. But both were nice, you know. We tamed yesterday, didn't we, a little bit with the jib and mizzen, which was lovely and working really well. Right up until the wind, I think it backed. So we were just straight into the wind on that middle leg. And under jib and mizzen especially, you know, having to jibe, we would have had about 20 tacks to get through there. We would have been there all day. We didn't get back till it was starting to get dark as well. So, you know, we did what we did. Today, we could have got the spinnaker out, although I think I left it in the van anyway, so we couldn't. But, you know, why complicate what ended up being quite a lovely sail today, to be honest with you. We had we've got a bit of flat wind now, but we've had some nice wind, you know, in between it, so can't argue. One thing that today has taught me is that this boat can go in light airs. I am learning the boat, and you know, I am getting rid of a lot of sailing mistakes I used to make as a novice, which was, you know, tightening the sails up too much, taking the shape out of them. And I've noticed she does move a lot more. Obviously the new sails make a difference, but you know, I think the biggest difference is the sailor, really. Yesterday didn't teach me anything other than confirmed how wonderful this boat is when the going gets tough. You know, she is a lovely boat to sail, and you know, she keeps me safe, and no matter what our future holds, Lulu will always be in my memories and in my heart. So on that note, and with the sailing club right here, we're gonna heave to, and we're gonna make our way into the bay, and we're gonna haul out. Thank you for coming for the ride. It was nice having your company. Thank you very much. See you very, very soon.